hide our unfaithfulness. I pray that you will continue to restore our souls. May we continue to trust you where we can't trace you. May we continue to praise you as we see you unwrapping all the gifts of love that you continually give to each of us. This morning, I pray that you would be welcomed again into our midst, that you would bless every lady you brought to this platform. We pray that you will meet all the needs. You will bless the families and countries that we represent. And may today's sitting be one of learning, one of enjoyment, one of kinship. Again, we say, you are welcomed in our midst. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome again to Let's Talk. So smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That quote is from Nat King Cole. Smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see that life is still worthwhile if you just do what?
Smile.
Smile, if you just smile. So let's see if you brought your smile with you this morning. Great, great. You brought your smiles with you. With our future ahead of us and the ancestors beside us, there's nothing we can't do. Beautiful. With our future ahead of us, ancestors beside us, there's nothing we can't do. But we have to believe it, right? We have to believe there's nothing we can't do. They can't just be words. We have to translate them into, yes, I can. Yes, I can. So let's see, what is the weather like where you live? Because someone sent me a picture yesterday. They were buried, actually buried in snow. The whole car was buried in snow. What's happening there in the Bahamas?
It's cold.
Oh, okay. It's cold.
Yeah,
All right.
last week, very cold. 2 blankets.
Very cold, in fact. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting some of the cold air there. All right. All the blankets and sweaters and coats and boots coming out. Phyllis, what's the weather down there in Florida
Oh, I'm 67 now, going up to 71.
today? So you are
Yeah.
cool as well.
That's better than
Yeah.
what happened
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What's happening in Jamaica? No, what's the weather? Oh, Janelyn, what's the weather?
It is very cool.
Oh,
Very, very cool. I actually am wearing 2 blouses.
whoa. Isn't that good to hear this morning?
Yeah.
That is good to hear that you are not farting this morning. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Canadian Airy Tree. All right. What's happening in Chicago? You all buried under?
Oh no, we have no snow. I think we're getting snow this weekend, but right now it's sunny outside, and today's high is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's cool, but we're used to it.
80 degrees with no snow. You know, I always, growing up, when you read about snow, because you're not used to it, when you get 32 and below, you say it must be snowing. But that is not necessarily true. They are 30 degrees and there's no snow. My goodness, but it's cold. It is cold. Well, this month has been designated to pay a little more attention to Black history. What does that mean? Just the two words, Black history.
Stories of the Black people.
Okay, stories of Black people. Anything else?
Our beginnings.
Okay, our beginnings. Talking about our ancestors and also people living today.
Yeah.
Black history isn't just about people who are past. It's also about people who are.
Right.
So when we talk about the word honor, what is your definition of honor? Anyone?
To show appreciation.
Okay, I'm showing appreciation. What are you saying, Cash?
I was saying, given to a person what's due to them.
Okay, giving a person his or her due. So how do you as a person, how do you define a person who should be honored? What are what qualifications are you looking for if you were to select someone to honor?
Their contribution to somebody else's well-being.
Okay. That's one of the things you would look for. Anybody else? What would you look for?
Contributions they make to society.
Okay. The society as a whole. All right. What other things you would look for?
You went beyond yourself to help others.
Okay. Selflessness.
Yeah.
Any other characteristics you would look for?
Integrity. Somebody you can look up to.
Okay.
Yes.
Person who, yeah, they have to have integrity. Any other characteristic? Okay, well, let's look and see. Honor, first of all, is often a title given to somebody who has achieved something great. However, it is not always the case. Everyone can be honorable in their own way. And it starts with doing what is right. I want to read that last sentence again. Everyone can be honorable in their own way. And it starts with what?
Doing what is right.
Doing what is right. So can we be honored?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All we have to do is what?
Do what is right.
Do what is right. Do what is right. You don't have to be honored by society and on a podium and receive a plaque or a medal or something. You are honored because you practice doing what is right. Okay, what are some other characteristics then that define people who should be honored? Now, a category, this is the whole category, the umbrella for this is we honor people based on their moral character and integrity. Somebody pointed that out already. So what are the subsets under that? One, consistency. Those who walk the what? Talk. You know, people talk a lot. If we follow the talk, you would be, oh, yes, that's a good person. That's a person whose voice being honored. We have to look for consistency. Their talk and their walk match. Their actions align with their stated principles. They're not saying something. You should be honest, but they're a thief. You know, should be on time, but they're always tardy. You know, so the consistency is very, very important when we are talking about people who should be honored. Talking about ourselves. Integrity, meaning they uphold moral and ethical principles,
Yep.
even under pressure. What moral and ethical principles? What are some moral and ethical principles?
You don't lie.
That's right. That's right. Be honest. Don't lie. That's right. Any other moral or ethical principle?
Standing on the word or a commitment that you made.
That's right. I made a commitment. Keep it. Keep it. That's right. Keep it. And be fair to all people. Be fair. You can't always just favor people who will, sometimes we
Do
give
something for you.
because we know they will give you something back. I actually, in saying that, I remember someone, every time I see that person, it comes to mind. I need to get it out of my mind. She said to me, we were new here in the country, and she said, "You invite me to your house for dinner, and I'm going to invite you back to my house for dinner." I thought that was strange for me, So you're not doing something to get something back. You do something because it's right. Like my husband always said, stand on principle and you can't go wrong. It doesn't matter where you are. And talking about moral and ethical, don't just act one way when you are at a certain place. But when you go home or in another place, you are a different person.
Consistency.
Yes, consistency. And that even under pressure, sometimes you may be the only person standing up for the truth, standing up for what is right. And some people bend because, well, to make them feel good, I didn't want to make them feel bad. No, you have to have integrity. And then humility. What does that mean? Letting people walk all over you?
No.
Is that what humility means?
No.
No.
It means putting others before yourself. Can you think of some examples of when we should do that? Putting others before yourselves, humility. What does that look like if you say it's not somebody walking all over you? Give an example. What's an example of humility? Nobody has one?
Well,
Yeah.
well, I usually like somebody open a door for me.
Uh-huh.
I mean to show humility, but I can't resist saying age before beauty. Can't resist it.
Okay. What about you are, let's say, at a funeral, could be at a funeral, could be at a wedding, and I'm piggybacking on what Phyllis said. All the seats are taken. You have your nice, comfortable seat, and there comes in, as Phyllis said, an elderly person who really should be sitting down. What about you getting up and giving them your seat?
Yeah.
That's a form of humility. That's putting others before yourself, And there are some people who always have to sit at the front of everywhere they go. They have their reasons. I can't see, I can't hear, whatever. They have to sit at the front. And there comes in somebody needing a seat and they give up their seat. That is humility. That's
Yeah.
humility.
Mhm.
And Blanche, another thing about the car, if you used to drive in the front with your son, but then he's giving somebody a ride and you say, I'll sit in the back.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
another form. Yes. Trustworthiness. Somebody mentioned that. People who are honest, they keep their promises and are reliable. Now, this trustworthiness is be in my bonnet dealing with people. You know, you say you're going to just do it. Keep your promise. Let people rely on you. Your word, go right back to consistency, walk the talk. You know, I trust you to do this. You say you will do it. Do it. Be honest. Keep your promise. So they all came under the umbrella of moral integrity, moral character and integrity. Now the other subheading is based on action and service. Remember, we talking about how we define people who should be honored. Under this, we have sacrifice. These are people who are willing to put themselves in harm's way. They will forego their personal comfort for the greater cause. So we have people like our veterans, we have people in our military, we have our community service persons. You know, they go to work. We talk about snow and the weather. They go to work when we stay home because they have to. They are needed. So they're sacrificing their lives, their time, their personal comfort to ensure that others are taken care of. We have firefighters who will go in a fire to rescue someone who's inside that house. That's sacrifice. That's what sacrifice looks like. And then a person who should be honored has courage. They're not weak. They have a strong backbone. They stand up for what is right despite personal risks. They don't, their courage does not depend on which company they are in. They stand up for what is right. They're known for that. And then these persons who should be honored are kind and empathetic. Kind and empathetic. Kindness is, some people are born that way. Some have to develop it. And what the saying says, some of it thrust upon him. So kindness must not be selective. We select who we are kind to. Empathy is different from sympathy. We talk about that on this program all the time. Empathy is actually feeling what that person is going through. It's not just, I'm sorry about your loss. I'm sorry the way you're feeling. They really get into the shoes of that person. And then people who should be honored are generous. They're willing to contribute to the betterment of mankind without expecting reward. We can't get anything with a closed fist. When we give, it makes you feel good just to be generous. So they are based on action and service. We have, then we have, is there another category? We have the social and cultural perspectives now. Under this, we have reputation. Reputation. In many cultures, honor is the judgment a community makes about its members, often regarding those who adhere to social norms and protect the group's reputation. Reputation is very important. Very important when you're going to honor people. And role-based, many times, well, most of the honorees that I have witnessed, people who are being honored, they really honor them because of their position. I do not know if they have all those other characteristics. I know it role-based. They are leaders or elders and teachers or doctors. Do you find that? when people are being honored, it's because they are politician or you find, what about you? Have most of the people you have seen honored have been role-based rather than those other uh, uh, um, characteristics we talked about previously. What about you?
Yeah, sometimes, most times role based, and under that, under the role, they give you for a long service.
Okay. Um, I talked about that last week, I think, that most times you see people, oh, they have to, only a doctor, they doing great work could be honored, or, uh, um, you know, a great entrepreneur, well-known businessman or something. I always think about that. What, because we just looked at these characteristics of who we should honor. For me, I don't see those kicking in to say they honor those. Okay. And then we have, this is according to the social and cultural perspective, achievement. Yes, we see that too. They achieve great things in sports and arts or science. They are often honored for their excellence. And then righteousness, those who live according to God's word. You have a minority that are honored for that.
Very, very rare. Never
Very
seen it
rare,
yet.
very rare, very rare, very rare. Okay, so here are some takeaways on honoring people. 3 takeaways. It's a choice. Honor is a chosen attitude that influences how one thinks, speaks, and interacts with others. So it's a choice. Whoever is doing the honoring, that's their choice. I may not like who you choose because it's subjective, but it's based on your own values and through which lens you are looking. And those who should be honored, it should be something that they earned. True honor is earned through actions. You shouldn't have to demand, you shouldn't have to ask people to honor you. People do that. Well, I should be honored. How come she is honored? It should be earned. You shouldn't have to ask for it because remember, it's a choice and it's subjective. So now is your chance to report on somebody living or dead that you want to pay tribute to, you want to honor this morning. I see Althea is turning pages. Are you ready?
It's
Yes, I actually decided to do one on a lady that was originally she was an educator as well as a mayor. So her name is Lorraine Hairston Morton, an American politician and educator. She was born on December 8th, 1918 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She was the last of 10 children born to William Hairston and Keziah Hairston. As a teenager, she enjoyed acting, singing, dancing. She also played competitive tennis. She graduated from the Winston-Salem Teachers College, which is now called Winston-Salem State University. She got her bachelor's degree from there, and she started teaching at the age of 19. She received her master's of education from Northwestern University. She was notable for spearheading desegregation of Evanston Public Schools, which I grew up in. Lorraine Morton also taught at Tuskegee Institute. That's before she went to Tuskegee, her and her husband, and they taught there for a little while, and then they came back to Evanston. So she also taught there. She moved back here in 1953, and she was an educator from 1953 to 1989 for the District 65 school district. She taught at Foster School, which was the only African school for African Americans at the time. She taught at Nichols Chute, which are local schools in the area. She taught for 25 years, and she became a principal at Haven Middle School. I had her as my principal until 1989 when she retired, but her work did not stop. She was on the city council from 1982 to 1991. She served on housing and community development. She was also involved with fair housing. She did human services and rules. In 1993, she ran for mayor and won as the first African-American Democratic mayor, and holds the record of the longest standing mayor until 2009. She worked with local community leaders to create a safe zone and a timeout period that would be called a truce. We used to, back in, I would say, the 80s, late 80s, or mid 80s to like beginning of the 90s, we used to have a lot of gang territorial things in our area. And it was a thing that would happen during Friday nights and Saturday nights. And she decided to use one of our local community centers called Robert Crown Center to invite some of these people to come out and play basketball as a way to have a truce and to keep the calm within the neighborhoods. She had awards and honors. So the awards and honors that she has received over time was she had one from the Winston-Salem State University. They created an endowment scholarship in 2010 for students pursuing education. Northwestern University also has a scholarship program for Masters of Science, which was in 1996, and it's received for Alumni Merit Award and honorary doctorate in 2008. She also had an honorary doctorate in public services for Kendall College. And our community center, our civic center, was also named after her. She died September 8th, 2018, at the age of 99.
Oh,
Wow.
So she lived a long life. But I'm
yeah.
going to try and I'm going to show you a picture of her from her youth and what she looked like before she died. So let me click on images. If this was a picture of her, I don't know if when she was younger. Oh, good.
Yes.
That's a picture of her when she was younger. And these are pictures of her.
It's older, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, she
And
sounds like
she was always interacting with community people all the time. And even after she retired, I would always see her in the grocery store, and she was always upbeat and always still, dealing with community people and just keeping up the same moral and abilities that she had for her life.
sounds like someone who filled those qualifications and worthy to be honored. Okay. You want to share, Phyllis?
Yes, I wrote about
2 minutes.
Unsung.
Give us. Okay.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. I wrote about Usain Sedler Bolt. He is a Jamaican retired runner. He was born on August 21, 1986. So he's 40 years old now. And he was born to Leslie and Jennifer Bolt. He is regarded as the greatest sprinter of all times. He's an 8-time Olympic gold medalist and the world record holder in the 100 and 200 meters, and 4 times he ran in the 100-meter relay and they won. As a matter of fact, they nicknamed him Lightning Bolt. So he is a Catholic, and he wears a miraculous medal during his races. And before he starts the race, he always makes the sign of the cross. Ben Bolt wrote in his autobiography that he suffered from scoliosis, which is a curvature of the spine and caused one of his legs to be shorter than the other. He popularized the lightning bolt gesture, which a lot of people has copied worldwide. He married a model, a Jamaican model, Carol Bennett, and they have a daughter, Olympia Lightning Bolt, and twin sons that they named Thunder and St. Louis. He likes, besides his running, he likes to play cricket and also football. As a matter of fact, he tried and asked to be to play for the Manchester United group in England. He also is an entrepreneur who dabbled into the scooter thing that they used to have all over where they go visiting places like in England. So, but he shortly came out of that business. But now he has what is called the Bolt's Lab, and there they manufactured dental stuff to enable people who are underserved to make them accessible to things like that. And he also does a lot of promoting innovations in healthcare in Jamaica. And to end, one of the nice things about him, he was made into a waxwork was made of his image in London that is known as the Lightning Bolt, and is kept at Madame Tussauds, which is a museum in London.
Oh, that's interesting. I
Yes.
saw him. He played an integral part also in the Melissa restoration. I saw him as I was watching what was happening. He was there helping to be a part of that. Yeah, good information. I didn't know all those things about him. Thank you. Yes.
I
Okay.
sent you a picture of him. If you could put up for me, because I would know how to do it properly.
Once Kyle gets it, he'll put it up so we
All
remember.
right.
Okay, go on, Jenna.
Okay. I have chosen to speak about Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Bolt. That's for Kyle. Bolt. Who's you seen Bolt? Go on while Kyle is looking for that picture. Go on.
Okay. Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Oh, there it is now.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
That's
Yes,
the
he's in the
lightning
Wax
signature.
Museum.
There he is. Okay, go on.
You know, the other day, my son went to sports day and tear up the field, man. Like a baby boy.
Like his daddy.
Yeah. Okay. Marcus Mosiah Garvey is Jamaica's first national hero. He was a Jamaican political activist. He was the founder and the first President General of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, called UNIA. Garvey and the UNIA established 700 branches in 38 states by the early 1920s. Garvey's influence declined rapidly when he and other UNI members were indicted for mail fraud in 1922 in connection with the sale of stock for the Black Star Line. He served 2 years of a 5-year prison term. But in 1927, his sentence was commuted by US President Calvin Coolidge, and he was deported. President Joe Biden pardoned Garvey in 2025. Garvey was never able to revive the movement abroad, and he died in 1940 in England. His body was returned to Jamaica in 1964 and buried in Kingston. Now, Garvey has promoted Black pride. He has promoted self-reliance and the Back to Africa movement. And this Back to Africa movement helped to form the Rastafarian movement in Jamaica. And his ideas came to be known as Garveyism. Now, there are so many motivational quotes that I have seen that he has spoken to for Black people. And I would like to give you some of those quotes. Some of Garvey's famous quotes. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Take advantage of your opportunity. Where there is none, make it yourself.
Yeah, they were beautiful quotes, beautiful quotes. Anyone else? Go on, Cash.
Okay, I chose John Lewis. John Lewis was an American civil rights activist and statesman who served in the United States House of Representatives for Georgia's 5th Congressional District from 1987 until his death in 2020. He was a graduate of Fisk University and the American Baptist Theological Seminary, now the American Baptist College, both in Nashville. At the age of 23, he became the co-founder and chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Lewis led and helped organize many of the seminal movements in the civil rights movement, including the Freedom Rides, the 1963 March on Washington, and the Selma to Montgomery marches. John Lewis was committed body and soul to nonviolent action. In 1960, he participated in the first mass lunch counter sit-ins in Nashville. As a freedom rider, he was badly beaten by a white mob in Montgomery in 1963. He was also instrumental in organizing bus boycotts and other nonviolent protests to support voting rights and racial equality. During this time, Lewis said it was important to engage in good trouble, necessary trouble, in order to achieve change and be held to his credo. And he held to this credo throughout his life.
Yes, that's anytime you good trouble. That's him. Great research, ladies. Great research. Let's look at some unsung heroes we may not be aware of. We have the first one, Virginia Abgar. Virginia Abgar. Who was she? She was responsible for better health for newborns. Very smart lady. Graduated fourth in her class. Initially, she worked in surgery, but you know what? She was discouraged from working in surgery. She had to contend with lower pay, and of course, she had to contend with respect from her colleagues. Now, what exactly is she responsible for? In her medical research, she is the lady who developed what is known today and is used today. Her last name, Apgar, the Apgar system. And that is used, that is a clinical device or method of using when a baby is born. 60 she used, this is used to check the baby 60 within 60 seconds of the baby's birth to determine the baby's overall condition and chances for survival. And by using this medical clinical device made by APGAR, they're able to determine whether that baby needs immediate emergency care or whatever. That is used today for newborns. So mothers, all mothers with newborns, thanks to Virginia Apgar for her medical research and the Apgar system that is used today. And then we have, he is Hungarian, Ignace Philip Semevis. He is responsible for hygiene. He's a hygiene pioneer, antiseptic procedure. As a medical doctor, he told his colleagues, you all need to stop handling cadavers and then you go and you deliver newborns. That's not sanitary. You need to stop what you're doing. Well, back then there was no germ theory. So he told them, you all need to wash your hands. And of course, they were against that because they thought he was trying to tell them, we are the ones killing babies. We are the reasons why newborn babies have died. So, of course, they fought against that. And but at his hospital in Vienna, he insisted that all the physicians always wash your hands, wash your hands. And eventually, would you believe it? He lost his job and his former staff abandoned him. Isn't that something? Washing hands, hygiene, he's the one. Okay, Hungarian. And then we have Bayard Rustin. He was a civil rights leader long before, we don't hear about him because he was a little, I think, before Martin Luther King Jr. Because he was a homosexual, he was kept in the background because that was frowned upon back then. But he fought for equality, the same rights in the military. That was one of the things he spoke about and fought against. And again, because of his sexuality, it's not much mention about him, but he was one of the key advisors to Martin Luther King Jr. And he was also a pioneer for nonviolence. And he also helped in planning the March on Washington. And then we have these two persons, Mildred and Richard Loving.
Oh, I remember them.
Mildred and Richard Loving. What are they known for? They are fighters for interracial marriage.
Yes.
She, he is white, you can see that, and she was Black and also Native American. 5 weeks after they were married, they were arrested for breaking the law, because in Virginia back then, you couldn't marry outside of your race. And so they went to court, and the court told them, now you have two choices. One, you can stay out of Virginia for 25 years, or you can go to prison. Isn't that something? What do you think they chose?
Prison.
They out of
Yeah,
state.
they stay out of Virginia, so they went to Washington, D.C. They didn't like it there. They set up their life. They didn't like it there, so they appealed to the American Civil Liberties Union and sued the state of Virginia. So they had multiple court appeals, and the case landed eventually in the Supreme Court of the United States. And in 1967, the justices announced unanimously, the decision was that the Virginia law was wrong, and 15 other states who had that law, the law of not being able to marry outside your race, became unconstitutional. So if we have children, of you yourself thinking of marrying someone other than your race, thanks to Mildred and Richard Loving, who didn't give up. They fought for that. So that's Mildred and Richard Loving. Then we have Sarah Breedlow. We know her as Madam C.J. Walker, but her name was really Sarah Breedlow. She's the first Black millionaire.
Yeah.
Just look at her, first Black millionaire. And she had a long history to get there. First of all, she was born into slavery because her parents were slaves. And she was widowed at the she got married at 14 and was widowed at the age of 20. So with a 2-year-old in tow, she worked as a laundress. She went to night class, and she developed the Walker system. That's for hair products, because she suffered from problems with scalp, and she developed that, and eventually a school, and eventually products. The first Black millionaire. Isn't that something to be proud of? And the last one is Dr. Patricia Bath. We don't hear a lot about her either, but what she's responsible, the first Black physician, and she made the laser phaco probe. What's that? How many of you have had cataract surgery? Thanks to well, that's the lady, Dr. Patricia Bath. Thanks to her, she invented that laser phaco probe that help you to get your laser surgery without any a big incision, just a tiny incision. Isn't that wonderful?
Yep.
Wonderful. So remember, God's eye is on the sparrow, and he's sure watching us. That's Eunice Carter. She's one of the first Black lawyers there in New York, paving the way for other Black women to be able to work in law enforcement and minorities in law. So his eye is on the sparrow.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home when His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. And I sing because I'm heavy, and I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. And I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me.
His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me and He watches you. Really great information this morning. Great time of learning and participation. Thank you so much. And for next week, when we come on, it will be Read Across America Week. Read Across America Week. So our project this week, read a book or an article and come prepared to share in our Read Across America next week. Could be a book, it could be an article, something you want to share with us within a 2 minutes window. So let's do some reading. Let's do some reading, and let's encourage all the boys and girls around you to do some special reading during that week. Thank you again for joining me on Let's Talk. Continue to be blessed, and do continue to be the hero that you are. Bye.
Have a blessed week.
Bye.